Welcome everyone to Excellent Spirit Christian School Model United Nations 2023. We appreciate all delegates' effort and participation in this Model United Nation, and let's work together and create a better policy for both gender equality and quality education. We're gonna start from the roll call. Please state your voting preference. Present means you can vote yes, no, or abstain means you don't vote for the draft of resolution. Present and voting means you can only vote yes or no. We're gonna start the roll call by the alphabetical order. The delegation of Argentina, the delegation of Australia,
Present and voting.
the delegation of Brazil,
Present and voting.
the delegation of Canada,
Present.
the delegation of China,
Present and voting.
the delegation of France,
Present and voting.
the delegation of India,
Present and voting.
the delegation of Indonesia,
Present and voting.
the delegation of Italy,
Present and voting.
the delegation of Japan,
Present and voting.
the delegation of Korea,
Present.
the delegation of Mexico,
Present.
the delegation of Russia,
Present and voting.
the delegation of Saudi Arabia,
Present.
the delegation of Turkey,
Present and voting.
the delegation of United Kingdom,
Present.
the delegation of United States of America.
Present.
Thank you, everyone. Now we move to the agenda setting. Is there any motion on the floor? Yes, the delegation of France, you've been recognized.
Motion to increase opening speech time to 3 minutes.
Those in favor? This motion passed. We're gonna have opening speech maximum of 3 minutes. Is there any other motion on the floor? Yes, the delegation of Mexico, you've been recognized.
Motion to discuss gender equality.
Those in favor? This motion passed. We're gonna discuss about gender equality first. Now time given for the opening speech. For gender equality, the first floor given to the delegation of Argentine.
Gender equality should be our top priority. According to our data, over 66,000 girls are murdered each year, with Latin America accounting for half of the total. We are gathered here today to put a stop to this femicide, particularly in Latin America. Despite the numerous challenges we face over the years, such as poor police responses and a legal system that does not provide justice for our victims, we have made significant success in promoting it in the media, schools, and education. This is a significant issue that is becoming more that is becoming more common each day. We look forward to account for other countries in combating this issue. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, the delegation of Argentine. Please welcome the delegation of Australia.
Good afternoon, our Honorable Chair, fellow delegates, and distinguished guests. Gender equality in Australia has improved significantly under the Sex Discrimination Act in 1984. But disappointingly, Australia's national gender pay gap is 13% as of May 2023. The full-time average weekly ordinary time earning across all industry and occupation was $1,938.30 for men and $1,686 for women, which every dollar on average men earn, women earn 87% than men. That is $52.30 less than men each week. Means that women have to work harder than men. The fact that men and women were all equally valuable, and I believe that we should be paid equally. The delegation of Australia, I believe that when we pay women less than men, we're telling them that their work isn't as valuable as men. And I proposes a better transparency, which it is an important tool in achieving gender pay equality. If employers doesn't know what other people are getting paid for, they can't know if they're being paid equally for equal work or not. And also by raising the minimum wage can positively impact all low wage workers regardless of gender. I think that's all my speech. Thank you for the occasion and thank you for the kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Australia. Now the floor is given to the delegation of Brazil.
Ladies and gentlemen, currently I'm gonna discuss about one of the major issues in Brazil, gender equality in Brazil. This issue is still widely discussed until today, so let's discuss it. So what is gender equality? Gender equality means the right, responsibility, and opportunity of even individual will not depend on whether they are men or women. And gender equality is principle that state that all men and women need to be treated equally and have to the same right despite their biological differences. In Brazil, 91.7% of legal frameworks that promote, enforce, and monitor gender equality under the SDG indicator, with a focus on violence against women, are in place. In 2007, 89% of women of productive age 15 until 49 years had their need for family planning satisfied with modern methods. Gender equality prevents violence against women and girls. It's essential for economic prosperity. Societies that values women and men as equality are safer and healthier. As equality citizen, men and women must enjoy equality opportunities, choices, capabilities, power, and knowledge, equipping girls and boys, women and men, with the knowledge, values, attitude, and skill to tackle gender disparities is precondition to building a sustainable future for all. If I had opportunity to increase the comfort level of gender equality in Brazil, I would cultivate gender equality in social life and change the majority of social custom or norms that exist in public regarding gender inequality and create a policy that enforces gender equality. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Brazil. Now the floor is given to the delegation of Canada.
Honorable is Honorable Chair, fellow delegates, and distinguished audience. Canada recognizes its position and stability as a developed country with significant improvements and commitment in against gender equality issue. With the 30 years place on global gender-based on gap index ranking out of 146 countries, Canada understands such fundamental regulations are needed to protect women's rights that will lead into minimizing the gender equality issue. Canada has been making more significant progress in minimizing the gender pay gap, assault, and harassment case. Based on this progress, Canada strongly believes that the specific federal law that entitles specific women's right is need to protect every right of each woman in entire developed or developing country. We also believe that a more stable annual survey regarding such matter is need to give a current data for several issues in gender equality. Canada had put its best effort in minimizing barriers in gender equality, and we want to be the voice of the women all the world who are going through this kind of thing and unable to find its way out. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Canada. Now the floor is given to the delegation of China.
Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. In 1995, the Fourth World Conference on Women in Beijing formulated a progressive blueprint to advance the global agenda for gender equality. Over the past decades, we have seen signs of progress. More girls are in school, few girls are forced into early marriage, and more women are in decision-making and leadership positions. Despite these gains, significant challenges linger for women and girls. Discriminatory laws and social norms are pervasive. Women are underrepresented at all levels of political leadership, and nearly one-third of women aged 15 to 49 years report that they have been subjected to some form of physical or sexual violence by their inmate partner. It gives me no pleasure to say that gender equality and women's empowerment remain the great unfinished business of our time. Indeed, no countries have achieved gender equality, and the COVID-19 pandemic has only exacerbated existing inequalities for women and girls in every area, from health to economy and social protection. We cannot emerge from the pandemic with the clock spinning backwards on gender equality. We need to turn the clock towards women's rights. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of China. Now the floor is given to the delegation of France.
Honorable Chair and fellow delegates and distinguished guests, our government have acknowledged the unfair treatment of men, but mostly women, get worldwide. France has made some attempts to stop this unfair treatment to its people, but there are still problems we yet solve in this great nation. Some of the unfair treatment are in the workplace, but not all of this unfair judgment are found in the workplace. Some are even found in public. Even more unexpectedly, even though the population of women is 33.76 million and men 3.66 million in France, the percentage is about 51% for women and 48% for men in population of France. So even though there are more women than men still make 15.2% more, even still estimate to keep growing to 16.5%. Even with all that fact, most women in France work part-time. Out of 5 million part-time jobs in France, about 3.8 million are held by women. That's around 76% of part-time jobs are held by women. So about 2.8% of women work part-time. Thank you, Honorable Chair and distinguished guests.
Thank you, the delegation of France. Now the floor is given to the delegation of India.
Good afternoon, honorable hosts, visitants, and representatives of each country participating in this event. I'm standing here as a representative of India. Every child deserves to reach her or his full potential. Wherever they live in India, girls and boys see gender inequality in their homes and communities every day. Across India, gender inequality results in unequal opportunities, and while it impacts on the lives of both genders, statistically, it is girls that are the most disadvantaged. Globally, girls have higher survival rates at birth and are more likely to be developmentally on track. But India is the only large country where most girls die than boys. In India, girls and boys experience adolescence differently. While boys tend to experience greater freedom, girls tend to face extensive limitations on their ability to move freely and to make decisions, affecting their work, education, marriage, and social relationships. As girls and boys age, the gender barriers continue to expand, where we can only see a quarter of women in the formal workplace. The delegate of India proposed to create a better and safer world for all genders by stopping the child marriage practices with imposing a law to give sanction of death for any person or organization that is still continuing the practice. The representative of India really appreciate every country's effort for the improvement of gender inequality. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of India. Now the floor is given to the delegation of Indonesia.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates. As Indonesian delegates, we are honored to address this important issue of gender equality today. Gender equality is a fundamental human right, and we are here to discuss one aspect of this complex challenge: gender-based violence. We recognize that gender-based violence affects people of all gender, with a heavier impact on women and girls. To address, we suggest a straightforward solution: provide a comprehensive education. Education can help gender-based violence. We can do this by teaching respect and healthy relationship early on. Schools should teach about honest respect and recognizing signs of abuse. Through education, we empower future generations with the knowledge and understanding needed to break the cycle of gender-based violence. Let's work together to understand that every individual, regardless of their gender, can live from violence and discrimination. Terima kasih, thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Indonesia. Now the floor is given to the delegation of Italy.
Honorable delegates, esteemed chairs, and distinguished guests. Today we gather here in a spirit of unity and progress to address a matter of utmost significance: gender equality in Italy. As we deliberate on this pressing issue, it is essential to acknowledge the progress made and the challenges that persist. Italy, a nation known for its rich history and cultural heritage, stands at a critical juncture in the pursuit of a gender equality. While Italy has made notable strides toward gender equality, including legal reform promoting women's rights and increased female representation in politics, it is crucial to recognize that disparities persist in various aspects of Italy's society. Women continue to face obstacles in accessing equal opportunities in workplace, and stereotypes and cultural norms often limit their full participation in political and economic life. Moreover, addressing gender-based violence remains an urgent priority. As representative of our respective nation, we have a responsibility to foster a dialogue that transcends border and cultures, and together seek innovative solutions to the challenges faced by Italian women. Let us, as a united body, strive to advocate for policies that promote equal opportunities, challenge stereotypes, and eradicate discrimination, thereby paving the way for a more inclusive, diverse, and equality. Italy, together we can make a difference and contribute to a world where gender equality is not a dream, but a fundamental reality for all. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Italy. Now the floor is given to the delegation of Japan.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, fellow delegates, and distinguished guests. Thank you for according us your time to deliberate this speech. Japan has to promote gender equality through various articles, laws, and policy. Gender equality is not just a matter of human right, it's a fundamental principle of human right. It means that men and women should have equal opportunities and the same right in all aspects of life, being it in the workplace, at home, or societies at large. Unfortunately, Japan, like many other countries, face gender inequality in a various form. One of the most galling issues is the gender pay gap. Women in Japan, on average, earn less than their male counterparts for similar work. This wage disparity is not only unfair, but also limits the economic growth potential of our nation. Japan has made progress in terms of gender equality, but there is still work to be done. By continually to push for change and raising awareness about the importance of gender equality, Japan can move towards a balanced and a fair society. And by working together, we can make that a reality. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you, the delegation of Japan. Now the floor is given to the delegation of Korea.
Honorable Chair, esteemed delegates, the delegates of Republic of South Korea is delighted to be part of this MUN conference. We gather here today to address a critical issue that affects not only Korea, but the entire world, gender equality. In Korea, we, as in many places, we have made a significant progress in recent years, but there is still much work to be done. It is essential that we come progress in recent years together as a society to reaffirm our commitment to gender equality, not just in words, but in action. Gender equality is not a woman issue. It is a societal issue. It is about ensuring that every individual, regardless of their gender, has the same opportunities, rights, and access to resources. It's about breaking down the barriers, challenging stereotypes, and promoting fairness. We must recognize that gender inequality has far-reaching consequences, from economic disparities to social injustices. Our commitment to gender equality will not only benefit women, but will lead to a more just and prosperous society for all. We must encourage open and honest dialogue, empower women in leadership positions, support policies that promote equality, and educate our youth on the importance of respecting and valuing each other's contributions. The fight of gender equality is not an isolated battle, it's a collective effort. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Korea. Now the floor is given to the delegation of Mexico.
Honorable Chair, fellow delegates, and distinguished guests. Mexico has made significant progress in the achievement of women's rights and gender equality. According to the World Economic Forum's Gender Gap Index for 2022, Mexico was ranked 31st out of 146 countries for gender equality. Despite the progress made, gender equality in Mexico still faces some obstacles to achieving full gender equality, such as violence against women, gender pay gap, and limited access to health care. Mexico strongly believed that by breaking down barriers and promoting inclusivity, we can tap into the immense potential and talent that women offer, fostering a more equitable society. Moreover, it is imperative to eliminate harmful practices such as child, early, and forced marriage, as well as female genital mutilation. These practices rob girls of their childhood, education, and future opportunities. By recognizing and valuing unpaid work and ensuring equal opportunities for leadership and eradicating harmful practices, we can build a better future, not for only Mexico, but the world too. I return to the chair.
Thank you, the delegation of Mexico. Next floor is given to the delegation of Russia.
Good afternoon, members, United Nations, and honored guests. The freedom in Russia with men and women income. This income different country because of the job generation when discrimination, gender breaks, and grace in negation is salaries women of after air around 77% women and men's income. The salary gap basic on the gender as example at the beginning of the sentence below is the woman of the heirs lays the man this pains because of the separation depth of work discrimination and social normal recognition party in economic inequality action with Russia. Generation salaries national found in metropolitan areas compared to rural and remote areas. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Russia. Next floor is given to the delegation of Saudi Arabia.
Good afternoon to our honorable chair and fellow delegates. In Saudi Arabia, our government truly believes that nations worldwide should have a common goal of supporting and enforcing gender equality. But this is the issue. Saudi women cannot study engineering, law, or journalism. According to the latest figures, 49.9% of the law population are female, and barely 21% of them contribute to social development. It is because socially unacceptable for women to work in fields other than teaching and medicines. Many Saudi women have been demanding to abolish this system as it limits them to do basic activities. Here are some terms. First, to have equal jobs and equal responsibilities, like increasing women's representation in leadership and decision-making, to redistributing care work and productive resources. Let's start to make a better progress toward gender equality and sustainable future by taking action starting from today. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, the delegation of Saudi Arabia. Next floor is given to the delegation of Turkey.
Greetings, honorable guests and fellow delegates. Turkey's performance on gender equality fails to match its achievements in human development and falls short of other countries at similar levels of development. According to an analysis presented online, researched by the Association of Monitoring Gender Equality and commissioned by the United Nations Development Program, the study uses standard UNDP development indices to identify areas of progress and regressions over the last 2 decades. Here, income and education are the biggest concerns. The starting point for the UNDP's Human Development Index, a measure launched in 1990 and measured every year since, which combines data on income, education, and health. To assess the country's performance, it then examines how Turkey's ranking changes when the data are disaggregated by gender to produce a gender development index. In 2019, Turkey is ranked 54 among 189 countries on HDI, putting it in the very high development category of after 2 decades of steady progress. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Turkey. Next floor is given to the delegation of United Kingdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to talk about two important issues in United Kingdom, gender equality. This issue matters to all of us, especially as we think about our future. First, let's discuss gender equality. This means that boys and girls, men and women should be treated the same and have the same opportunities. In the UK, we have made some progress, but there's still work to do. Sometimes, even when women and men do the same jobs, women can earn less than men. This is not fair, and we are working to change that. We believe everyone should have the same chance in life. And we are making sure women the same opportunities as men, including leadership roles. In conclusion, the UK is committed to creating a fair and equal future for everyone, where boys and girls, men and women are treated equally. We are ready to work together with other countries to make this change happen. Our future can be brighter and fairer for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of United Kingdom. Last but not least, the opening speech floor given to the delegation of United States of America.
Thank you. Thank you for gender equality. Honorable chairs and distinguished delegates, the United States has 50 states and has over 340 million population. In 2022, female population for United States of America was 168 million people. From this data, we believe that women population that cover half of the US population have important role to make a better nation. In this opportunity, we would like to tell all the delegations to see that women have skills and abilities to help a nation overcome any challenges and to reach the big dream that seems impossible. Napoleon said, "Give me good mothers, and I will give you a good nation." Fellow chairs, it is time to involve women in every field of life. Not just put them in the kitchen who cook for us or at home as a babysitter, but it is time to let them sit in social, political, economy, and cultural fields. We realize that US still working on it. There are still gaps between men and women in some fields. Data shows that women are underrepresented at all levels of decision making worldwide. Women are more likely to be unemployed than men. Globally, women are paid less than men. In culture, women cannot have access to higher education. See these all things, US believe that empowering women in the economy and closing gender gaps in the world of work are key to achieving the 2030 agenda towards sustainable development. Other important thing is by increasing women's and girls' educational attainment contributes to women's economic empowerment and more inclusive economic growth. All delegations imagine what a nation would be without women. We would not be here, we are nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of USA, and thank you, all delegates, for the opening speech. We expect you to have a clear picture of the specific topic you want to tackle regarding gender equality. Is there any motion on the floor? Yes, the delegation of Saudi Arabia, you've been recognized.
Motion to decrease, increase the debate time to 30 minutes.
Motion to have debate time for 30 minutes. Is there any motion on the floor regarding the format of the debate? Yes, the delegation of China, you've been recognized.
Motion to change the debate to informal.
Motion to change the debate to informal. Those in favor to have informal debate with 30 minutes duration? This motion passed. We're gonna have 30 minutes informal debate starting from now. The immoderate debate time has expired. Now we have two drafts of resolution. Resolution 1.1, presented by the delegation of Saudi Arabia, sponsored by Japan, China, Russia, Australia, and the US. Signatories by Brazil, Indonesia, Mexico, Italy, Turkey, South Korea, India, France, and Canada. For Saudi Arabia, Japan, China, Russia, Australia, and the US, the floor is given to the draft of resolution.
Japan, Australia.
If the sponsors want to also be included here, you may stand along with Saudi Arabia.
Resolution 1.1, year 2023. Sponsor Saudi Arabia, Japan, China, Russia, Australia, and US. Signatures Brazil, Indonesia, Mexico, Italy, Turkey, South Korea, India, France, and Canada. Topic: gender equality. Affirming delegates, bearing in mind that it is time for us to hand in hand see that we need to create a better life for women. Having considered that women in some countries, like we have now in our countries, after the long debate, we have three major things. There are: first, women access to education. Second, for women to have equal jobs. Third, for women to have equal rights. Underscoring the importance of these three major challenges, here are some resolutions we offer. First, to set the requirement and promotion of women, for example, specifying that the organization require at least 30% of senior position to be filled by women. Second, to include men, women, girls, and boys in decision making by including them in meetings and giving them chance to speak. Third, implementing and enforcing the comprehensive laws, policies, and innovations that prohibit gender-based discrimination, and to promote equal pay for equal work and offering employees flexible work arrangements such as starting and finishing times. We believe that all of us can make a better challenge for women in the countries. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegation of Saudi Arabia, Japan, Russia, Australia, and the US. Is there any point of information from other delegate regarding the draft of resolution 1.1? Yes, the delegation of India, you've been recognized.
Why 30%?
Well, we expected to put more than 30%, but by looking at the situation, we propose to take step by step. Thank you.
Is there any other point of information? Looking none, we can move to draft of resolution 1.2. Please welcome the delegate of Turkey, Australia, India, Brazil, Mexico, Indonesia, and South Korea. Signatories by United States, China, UK, and Japan. For Turkey, Australia, India, Brazil, Mexico, Indonesia, and South Korea, the floor is yours to present the draft of resolution 1.2.
Can we just put it there? It's not our fault, right? Look different. Great. Nice. Good. Soalin gitu ya. Resolution 1.2, year 2023. The delegation of France, supported by Argentina, Brazil, India, Indonesia, Italy, South Korea, Mexico, Turkey, along with the signatories of Russia, Australia, United States, China, United Kingdom, Canada, and Japan. Adopted by General Assembly at its meeting on 26th of October. The General Assembly affirming delegates full committed to create an equal world for empathizing that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and bearing in mind the Convention on Elimination of Human Forms of Discrimination against Women, the delegation of Turkey, along with the other sponsors, proposed two laws. The first law affirms giving policy for children to have extra classes or lessons about learning, consent, respect, and recognizing signs of abuse or harassment by giving free lessons for all genders, and both genders are required to join. The second and last law, we purpose to end early marriage by giving sentence of jail to any person or organization that is still continuing the practice. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates. Is there any point of information regarding resolution 1.2? Yes, the delegation of China, you've been recognized.
Why is early marriage such a problem?
We propose that children should, at their young age, they should focus on their education and not early marriage.
Thank you, the delegate. Is there any other point of information? Yes, the delegation of Saudi Arabia.
Starting from what age is an early marriage?
We prefer under 18 is not a good age, but we also prefer that they should start their love life on 20 above.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other point of information? Seeing none, you may return to your seat. Thank you, delegates. This is the voting time. Those in favor for the draft of Resolution 1.1 presented by Saudi Arabia, sponsored by Japan, China, Russia, and Australia, and US. Those in favor for draft of Resolution number 1 to be applied. Those in favor for Resolution 1.2 to be applied. Resolution 1.1 get 9 votes. Resolution 1.2 get 11 votes. Resolution 1.2 is passed. Thank you all delegates for your effort in this topic of gender equality. We're gonna move to the topic of quality education, but before that, all delegates are given 15 minutes of break. Thank you.